studio today to talk about elections. Is an interesting gentleman. Take it away. Introduce yourself, what you do, and any other necessary information that you want to the listener to know. It's your time to shine.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, first of all, for having me here today. And also thank you to LSK. I think it's a partnership we do with LSK Nairobi branch, where we give legal support and we just inform Kenyans about their rights and things that have to do with the law. My name is Lando, Dr. Lando. I am an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I practice law in the firm of Kamau Lando and Associates Advocate. But I'm also a teacher. I teach law at the Riara Law School.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a member of the Law Society of Kenya, the main one. I'm a member of the Nairobi branch of the Law Society. I'm a member of the ICJ as well, the International Commission of Jurists. And I'm a Kenyan. And I'm interested in matters of governance, law, social justice, human rights. And that is why I'm here today, to just take us through a couple of things regarding the law and regarding elections and governance.
I must say you are a busy man.
Kila mtu ako na hustle yake.
Right. What is election or electing? What is an election?
An election is, simply put, it's a way of choosing our leaders. It's an interview process, the conclusion of an interview process where we choose those who we are going to govern us for the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya says this, that sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya, right? And then we delegate that sovereign power to, we can either exercise that sovereign power directly or through our elected representatives. And this sovereign power is exercised then at the executive level, where you have the president and the cabinet and the DP and all those guys, plus the governors and the CECs. It is also exercised at the legislative level, where you elect your members of parliament and your members of county assemblies, and also at the judicial side, where you have the judges, magistrates, and people in the judiciary. So it means the power rests with the people. And so elections are a chance for us to choose and to donate power to these guys so that they can exercise that power on our behalf. So basically, that is what elections are.
So there should be no point in a politician's life, mm-hmm. or a member of the judiciary or somebody in parliament that they believe that this is a birthright. No, this is not.
No. You're not born. You're not. Kila hatukuzaliwa mahali, tuko kila mahali. Know. If you're an MP right now, you're not born an MP. You campaigned and became an MP after campaigning.
Yes.
Even you are not born at the radio station. So so it is because there are people who are their career is politics. So they are career politicians. You're on your job yao. You get. So that is their job. So it is just a chance for us to interview and select those who are going to entrust this country with, those who are going to entrust the future generations with, our money, so it's supposed to be something very serious.
Do you feel, because when we talk about elections, you cannot go without the name democracy playing somewhere behind your, they say, behind your mind.
Or at the back of your mind.
At the back, jeez.
Yeah.
Nimesahau story big is a class. Anyway. Do you feel elections are a plus or a negative to democracy?
Okay. Democracy is a concept where, I think it's Abraham Lincoln who said it, a government by the people, of the people, for the people, something like that. So it is basically where the people retain the ultimate power. And one of the key elements of democracy is holding free, fair, credible elections over periodic elections. So elections, because our constitution says that we are a democratic state, and therefore elections are part of the indicators of the fact that we are a democratic state. Of course, there are other indicators of democracy, and we need to exercise our democracy even in the period between two elections. we need to participate in democracy more than just during voting. But unfortunately, as Kenyans, me being one of them, we only participate so much in democracy when elections come. Alafu hiyo time ingine we are quiet.
Yes.
But we need to be vigilant, and I think that's why you're also doing a very good job at Haki FM to
you.
sensitize people, even in between election cycles, that their citizens need to participate more in terms of governance, other than just elections. But elections are one of the main highlights of democracy.
In between elections, people are just doing their own stuff.
Just do your own stuff.
#Vasha.
No, Vasha ni poa. It is good to go to Vasha. But it's also good to know your MCA.
Yes.
Like where you live, do you know who your MCA is? Do you know if you're in this county, Nairobi County, do you know who the executive for health is? Who the executive in charge of education is? When the county is calling for public forums to discuss a bill being discussed in the county assembly, do we appear and give our contributions during those town halls? When they're doing their budgets, do we appear and give our opinions on what are the budget priorities that the county should implement? When the National Assembly is calling for proposals, when they're doing the budgets, they normally ask people to give views and opinions. Do we go forward to give views and opinions? Or do you just say, hiyo tuachie watu wa LRF na watu wa LSK na ma-activists na watu wa Haki FM wafanye hizo vitu? So Kenyans, we still need to be vigilant and we need to participate more in governance outside elections. Yeah.
Do you feel like democracy does not work where good leaders, principled leaders, people who believe that this is the right thing to do, but sometimes the masses, numbers, are not on your side? Do you believe democracy kills principalism in leadership?
Yes and no. Yes, because democracy is where the majority have their say, but the minority also... No, the majority have their way, but the minority also have their say at some point. So... normally, when let me draw an example from the Americans or the British or even Kenya, even here, we've seen it. When you win an election, either a presidential election or whichever election, normally the practice is to reach out to the other side and say that, look, you may not have voted for me, but I am still the elected leader, and therefore, even those who are my opponents, let us put our hands together and move this country forward. You see, so the essence of democracy is that even if you win, you don't lord it over everyone else. Yes, you have been voted in with the majority, but the opposition have a role to play in governance. And you may even want to borrow some of the things that the opposition has put forward and work with them. And the opposition has a place in a democracy, to keep the administration in power in check, so that even if you did not get the position you asked Kenyans to give you, there is still a role for you to play in terms of keeping the current administration in check, so that they do not overreach, overstep, and do things that they shouldn't be doing.
When we come back, we shall be looking at or getting to listen to Dr. Lando's views concerning post-election violence, the experiences and lessons that he might have learned from the 2007, 2013 and 2017 elections. Right about now, it's Felz featuring Buju and Felz and Buju. The song is called Finesse.
And I've been living fast life, but I see it in slow. Oh no, and you see my lifestyle, I got G's in the double. See many people there outside where they feed man's oboe. Oh no, and me I stand the defender like Joseph Yobo. But girl say she want Netflix and chill, so I chatty get even money. If you fall in love, Kelly satin. You go to breakfast, I'm not capping. Can you see dripple, I'm not catching. I'm not faking this, no fugazi. You see these feelings, I'm not catching. I'm on quest and feet, I just want it. Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go right. All I care for the night. Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go right. All I care for the night.
FNESS, if it be the reason why your baba wanna jealous me. If you want to take I'm serious, I do top speed. No fit to resonate, I'm on a different frequency. I don't think it's necessary. I'll be done with that somebody that could do like me. When I be like Musala coming off the right wing, I cut to your defender, you no need to tell me. I'm a horse, finesse. And you know, send me, I'm a snap. Now you can lay, I go carry go. If me, I got money past you. If you're not careful, finesse. You know, send me a must snap. Like a lay, I go carry go. If me, I got money past you. If you're not careful,
Finesse. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go bright. All I care for the night. Finesse. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go bright. All I care for the night. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go right. All I care for the night. Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you go right. All I care for the night. To the macula yo. Emma fait dormir souvent. Emma fait dormir.
Now, what are your thoughts concerning the post-election violences of 2007, 2013, and a little bit in 2017? 2017 haikukuwa vile sana.
Haikuwa vile sana. My first thought is that it is unfortunate that in Kenya we have to shed blood because we are choosing our leaders. You know, we have to damage property because we are choosing leaders. That should not be the case. So my first thought is that it is unfortunate, and I hope that this year, and pray that this year no blood will be shed. No one has to die because someone is asking for a job.
I see kuna a campaign out there. Tusibleed ndio wali.
Tusibleed ndio wali.
Yes.
Unaona?
Yeah.
Because when you're interviewing for a job, no one dies. You go, you're interviewed. Ukiambiwa umepita, usipopita hujapita. But now in politics, unfortunately, we have a certain culture where violence and destruction of property and death, and that should not be the case. Our constitution does not envisage that. The people who fought for this country's freedom did not think like that. Those who paid with their lives so that you can have the freedoms that we have now, I am sure they did not, contemplate a scenario where every 5 years Kenyans must die because people are seeking elective office. And so that is one. Secondly, I think that right now I think Kenyans are mature enough. I mean, I think what we've gone through, we can learn from what we've gone through. That should not. I mean, I don't think it needs to happen because. In 2007, for example, during the violence, I remember I was buying line ya kulikuwa na zile scratch cards za Safaricom, una scratch
Yes.
Ya so ilikuwa inauza so mbili. Unaona, the price of everything shot up. You know, things were scarce to find, people were traumatized, things just were not the same.
As in airtime ya 100 bob inauza so mbili.
Because haupati airtime.
Yeah.
Unaona. So there's a scenario of chaos. So I don't think that needs to happen because we're choosing leaders.
Life has to move on even when even during the electioneering period.
Yeah.
Unlike in Kenya, whereby it's like we put a comma to our daily to daily lifestyle.
Exactly.
Because we want to give somebody a job. I like the way you put it.
And also, Kenya is a strategic country globally and regionally. Yeah? And our economy suffers. Right now, because I practice law, I'm in business here and there, and everything that is happening, everyone is saying, ngojea elections iishe. So our economy has ground to a halt because we are choosing leaders. the amount of loss, I am not an economist, but I'm sure it runs into the billions of the amount of money we lose because people do not want to transact right now. Kila mtu anashikilia pesa. Everyone is scared or everyone is apprehensive.
Yeah, and it's so sad that the effects of electioneering are just all negative. Like hata ukienda kwa matatu sahii watakwambia business is slow, people have traveled up country. Yeah, mwingine amepiga simu akasema hapa kwa reception kindly nafuatilia ile invoice yetu. Yeah, elections are coming.
Elections are coming. You see,
anataka mmalizane. So
I think we need to change that and make it an opportunity for new leadership, fresh leadership, for excitement in view of the ideas that are coming through and everything. When the Americans are doing their elections, their life moves on. I mean, the American economy doesn't stop. Even ours, we need to ensure that our economy moves on. We need to ensure that we don't bring Kenya to a standstill simply because people are being interviewed by Kenyans, and then, of course, there's the accountability that comes with that type of violence. If there is violence, we saw attempts at accountability after the 2007 violence. Okay. And right now, we have the International Crimes Act. So anyone who does anything weird, justice will come for you. I was listening to, I think it was the radio the other day, and there is one of the perpetrators of, what was it called? When the Nazis were killing Jews during World War II. The guy is 80, ameshikwa, he's been sentenced. He's being held accountable for the crimes he committed in 1942. And this is the year 2022.
Yeah.
So at some point...
Even the guy for Rwanda genocide. Yeah.
Yes, Kabuga.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be hanging out with your grandchildren and you're being put in chains. So accountability will come. If not here, in this life, in the next life, you will be held accountable.
What is the role of Wananchi in maintaining peace up to the election date and after?
Now, as I said again, Article 1 of the Constitution, it says, all sovereign power belongs to the people. You get?
Yeah.
So you are basically donating this power to different arms of government, to different people, to your elected leaders. So don't let these people who are vying confuse you and incite you against your neighbor. Because at the end of the day, when Gor Mahia is playing with the FC, tunaitana majina tukichia, but then after cheering squad, we go home na tunaenda nyumbani, and you are my neighbor. I will ask you for salt. Your kids will come to my house to play with my kids. We'll go to the same church. So nothing much changes after elections, for the normal Mwananchi. So it is our responsibility to ensure that we protect our neighbors, we protect our colleagues, our brothers, our sisters, because there's nowhere else we are going. Kenya ni yetu. So if this place blows up, it'll blow up with us.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else we are going.
Totally agree.
So it is Mwananchi's responsibility to ensure that, one, you maintain peace, you vote peacefully, go home. We hope and pray that the institutions charged with managing the elections are going to do a good job, that they are competent and they are independent enough so that we do not have to simama over their shoulders looking all the time what they are doing.
Now, let me throw, a spanner into the works.
Yeah.
Now, the role of Wananchi in maintaining peace, when we look at social media.
Yes.
Waitumia aje? Because, especially Kenyans on Twitter. Ukitaka stress ya bure, free of charge. You log in on Twitter, uanze kuangalia trending tweets.
I know. But then now you see, social media, unfortunately, is, it gives people, people have different faces. You have the face you show to the world, you have the face you show in private, and nowadays there's a face on social media. I think social media is part of freedom of expression, and your freedom to express yourself is fully protected by the Constitution. However, the Constitution also says that it does not extend to incitement for hatred, incitement to violence and things like that. So yes, you are allowed to express yourself in Twitter. and on Instagram and on Facebook or whichever other social media that you use. However, there's a limitation to whatever it is you're saying. Okay, where my right ends, where yours begins.
Yes.
You see, so they say my right to swing my hand ends where your face begins. So if I swing it wrongly, nikipiga ngumi sasa imekuwa kitu ingine.
Yes.
So we need to basically exercise. It's called what? A responsible use of social media. Social media is a tool which is very good. It can be used for both good and bad. Tukiwa shule tulikuwa tunaambiwa tuandike insha ama composition kuhusu moto, fire.
Yeah.
And used to end by saying, fire is a good servant but a bad master. It's the same thing social media. Social media is a good tool.
Yes.
But if used wrongly, it can cause a lot of catastrophe.
Right here at Haki FM, the Oasis of Justice, and other media outlets, we try so much to be a voice of reason during this kind of times. We try to tell wananchi, maybe kivyetu, and when we have people like you guests, unawambia, just like you've done, unawambia what to do and what not to do.